Have you ever found yourself waiting for the perfect time to act? Maybe it's been a dream, a calling, or a deep desire to grow in your faith. You keep saying to yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll do it when the time is right." But what if I told you that the perfect time is now, and that waiting is exactly what's holding you back from living the life God has in store for you? Life is fleeting, and each moment is a precious gift. The Bible is clear. Procrastination is a thief, stealing away the opportunities God gives you to make a difference today. You might be wondering, how does this apply to my life? It's simple. Each moment you put off is a moment you'll never get back. Whether it's deepening your relationship with God, helping others, or pursuing your dreams, the time to start is today. Don't wait for circumstances to magically align, because the truth is, they never will. The urgency of now is not just a call to act, it's a wake-up call to live for God fully, right now, without delay. And the best part? You don't have to do it alone. With God's guidance, His angels by your side, and the strength He provides, you can live boldly, purposefully, and passionately. Don't let life slip away while you're waiting for someday. Start today and see the difference it makes in your life, your family, and the world around you. The life you've been waiting for is here, right now, at this very moment. Life can feel like an hourglass. One moment, you're in control, and the next, time slips away, leaving you wondering where it all went. You may think there's always tomorrow, but let's face it, there isn't. The truth is, every tick of the clock is a moment you'll never get back. Life, with all its blessings, is precious. And the Bible reminds us of this constantly, encouraging us to cherish each breath, each day, and each relationship we hold dear. We only get one shot, so make it count. Think about the moments you've wasted in the past. Maybe it was time spent in worry, fear, or procrastination. We all do it, but life is too short to let it pass by in a haze. When you understand that time is limited, you start to appreciate what truly matters. Prioritize your health, your faith, and your relationships. Invest in things that have lasting value. Angels, in their eternal wisdom, often remind us to slow down and reflect on the preciousness of time. The days of your life are like a fleeting moment in the grand expanse of eternity. You have a choice: live with urgency or let life pass you by. So many people wait for the right time to start living the life they've always dreamed of. But the right time is always now. Every single day is an opportunity to grow in faith and purpose. The Bible tells us that time is a gift, not to be squandered, but to be used wisely. Don't let your moments slip away without making them count. Have you ever noticed how people say, "I'll get to that tomorrow"? We all do it, put off what matters. But when we remember that life is short, the urgency kicks in. You realize that tomorrow isn't promised, and with that realization comes a sense of empowerment. It's in those moments of clarity that you begin to make choices that honor what's eternal, what's meaningful. Think about it. Time is one of the few things we can never get back. So what are you waiting for? How much time do you spend on things that won't matter in the long run? How much of your day is taken up by distractions, stress, or negativity? What would happen if you shifted your focus and devoted more of your time to things that bring you closer to God? Life's brevity gives you an important lesson. Use your time wisely for the things that matter most. Whether you pray for wisdom or simply listen to God's guidance, the right actions will lead you to a life well lived. Living a life that reflects the value of each moment doesn't happen by accident. It requires mindfulness. Every moment can be transformed into an opportunity for growth and connection. When you understand how fleeting life is, you begin to seek out meaning in everything you do. The Bible says that our days are numbered. That's not meant to frighten you. It's a call to action. Don't wait. Live purposefully and intentionally. And yet, knowing life is short isn't always enough to change the way you live. It takes constant reminders, both from within and from the guidance of angels. The truth is, your life's preciousness is not just about your time, it's about your choices. So, how will you choose to spend today? How will you make it count? The answer to that question will shape not only your life, but your eternal journey. We often get caught up in the hustle of daily life, juggling responsibilities, goals, and dreams. It's easy to forget what truly matters. The Bible reminds us time and time again that what we do in this life echoes into eternity. The world around us constantly pushes us to focus on material wealth, fleeting success, and temporary pleasures. But if you look deeper, you'll realize these things fade away. The things that truly matter, love, compassion, faith, and justice, are the ones that stand the test of time. Many people spend years chasing after things that won't last. They put off their relationship with God, thinking there will be more time. But there isn't. Life is too short. So how can we shift our focus? It starts by understanding what's eternal. The Bible teaches us that we are made in the image of God, and He has created us for something much bigger than the temporary distractions of life. To prioritize what is eternal means choosing what brings you closer to Him, like spending time in prayer, reading His Word, and helping others. Procrastination is the enemy of eternal values. The longer you delay strengthening your relationship with God, the more time you waste on things that don't matter. The world may try to convince you that you have all the time in the world, but deep down, you know that's not true. So start today. Start now. God's love and purpose for your life don't wait for a convenient moment. They're calling you to act today. Seek what is eternal, and your life will reflect that transformation. Have you ever put something off thinking, I'll deal with that later? We all have. Whether it's making time to pray, spending quality moments with loved ones, or giving back to the community, it's easy to assume there's always a better time. But the reality is that if we don't act now, we might never get the chance. Jesus speaks of living with urgency. Do not store up treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy. He urges us to focus on what lasts forever: love, kindness, and faith. To truly prioritize the eternal, you need to challenge the norms of this world. The media, the pressures of society, and even personal desires often encourage us to focus on things that will soon be gone. But what if we started living for the things that remain beyond this life? Angels often guide us with reminders of this, helping us see what's truly important. They don't focus on the things that fade. They focus on the lasting impact we can make through faith and good deeds. The challenge isn't just knowing what's eternal. It's making the decision to prioritize it. This may mean saying no to certain distractions, letting go of unnecessary things, and investing time in what truly matters. Every small act of kindness, every prayer, and every decision that aligns with God's will makes a difference. The more you prioritize the eternal, the more peace and fulfillment you'll experience in your life. It's a constant process, but it's one that shapes your soul. When you focus on what truly matters, the temporary concerns of life begin to fade. The Bible encourages us to set our hearts on things above, not on the fleeting things of this world. God's eternal love, grace, and purpose for your life are what will carry you through. And as you prioritize these eternal values, you'll begin to live with a deeper sense of meaning, peace, and fulfillment. Every day is a fresh opportunity, a gift from God. Yet, how often do we let the day slip by without fully engaging with it? Life's pace can make us forget that today is the only moment we truly have. We plan for tomorrow, and we dwell on the past, but the present is where our lives unfold. The Bible teaches us to live in the moment, to embrace today with gratitude and purpose. If you're always looking ahead or looking back, you miss the beauty and potential of the present. Take a moment to think about your daily routine. How much of it is spent in distraction? Whether it's scrolling through your phone, stressing over the future, or getting lost in regrets, distractions steal precious time. But when you recognize that each moment is a gift, you begin to see the world around you differently. You see opportunities for growth, service, and connection. Angels often guide us to appreciate the present, reminding us that it is not about waiting for the perfect moment, but making the moment we have perfect. Wisdom comes in knowing how to use today wisely. It's easy to say tomorrow when we're tired or unsure, but the truth is, each moment is a step on the journey of faith. When you pray for wisdom, you're asking God to guide your decisions in the present. And when you focus on the now, you're better able to make choices that align with His will. Every small choice can reflect His purpose in your life, whether it's taking a moment to pray, sharing a kind word, or listening to someone in need. Think about it. You could spend the whole day planning for tomorrow, but tomorrow will always be just out of reach. Instead, use today. God has blessed you with the present. an opportunity to pray, grow, and live intentionally. The angels are often around, offering their guidance and reminding you that there's no better time than now to live fully for God. When you focus on the present, the future takes care of itself. In our busy lives, it's easy to get caught in the "I'll do it later" mindset. We put off doing what truly matters, thinking we have all the time in the world. But time is fleeting, and each day is an opportunity we shouldn't squander. Be mindful of how you spend your time today, whether it's in prayer, working on your goals, or nurturing relationships. What you do now matters in the grand scheme of eternity. Seize today, and you'll lay the foundation for tomorrow. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future. It means making choices that will lead to a better future. The Bible encourages us to live wisely, and wisdom comes from knowing that today is the most important day. And as you seize each day with purpose, you begin to align yourself with God's plan for your life. The present is the only moment you can control, so make it count. It's a powerful reminder that everything we need is right in front of us, if only we open our eyes. God doesn't call us to live in the past or constantly worry about the future. He calls us to live with purpose today. So, what is one thing you can do today to live wisely? Maybe it's setting aside time to pray or reaching out to someone in need. Whatever it is, take action now, and you'll find that the present is full of blessings waiting to unfold. In the hustle of everyday life, it's easy for our priorities to get out of alignment. We get swept up in the noise of the world, chasing after goals and desires that, while important, may not align with God's plan for us. The Bible encourages us to seek first the kingdom of God, and everything else will follow. It's a reminder that our ultimate priority should be our relationship with God, and everything else should flow from that. When you align your priorities with His will, life takes on a new clarity and purpose. Take a moment to reflect on your own priorities. Are they in line with God's purpose for you? Do your actions reflect your faith? When you make God your top priority, you begin to see the world through a different lens. Your decisions are no longer motivated by fear, greed, or the pressures of the world. Instead, they are guided by love, faith, and the desire to serve. This is the kind of alignment that brings true peace and fulfillment. Aligning your priorities with God means putting Him first in everything. This doesn't just apply to big decisions. It's in the small choices too. Whether it's how you spend your time, how you treat others, or how you handle challenges, everything becomes an opportunity to live out God's purpose. When you prioritize faith, family, and service, you find that your life takes on more meaning and you feel a deeper connection to the world around you. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to let distractions pull you away from what really matters? We all have busy lives, but when we don't make time for God, everything else becomes harder to navigate. The Bible reminds us that we are called to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind. This means giving God the first place in our hearts, not the leftovers. It's about being intentional with your time and energy, making space for Him in every area of your life. Angels often guide us back to our true priorities, helping us realign with God's will when we've strayed. Sometimes it's a subtle nudge, a reminder to slow down and listen for God's voice in the chaos. When you make God your priority, everything else falls into place. Your relationships become deeper, your work becomes more meaningful, and your sense of purpose becomes clearer. It's like having a compass that points to what truly matters. Aligning with God's priorities doesn't mean everything will always be easy. Life still comes with its challenges, but when your focus is on Him, the challenges don't seem as daunting. You have the strength and courage to face them, knowing that God's purpose is greater than any obstacle. Take time today to reflect on where your priorities lie. Are they aligned with God's will for your life? In the end, aligning your priorities with God isn't a one-time event. It's a daily decision. It requires continual self-reflection and a commitment to put God first. But when you do, everything else in your life will fall into place, and you'll find a deeper peace and joy that transcends anything the world can offer. In a world that glorifies tomorrow and later, it's easy to put off important decisions or actions. But the Bible teaches us that there is an urgency to living out God's calling in the here and now. The present is all we truly have. And while we may not control the future, we can choose how we live today. There's no more waiting. God's plan for your life is happening right now, and you are called to act in the present, not in some distant future. Many of us live as though we have endless time to make changes, seek God, or live out our faith. But life doesn't wait. Every moment is precious, and the urgency of now is a reminder that we must take action. When you pray for guidance, you're acknowledging that now is the time to move forward. God is calling you to step out in faith, not wait for the perfect moment or for everything to be just right. It's easy to become paralyzed by fear or uncertainty, believing that we need to have everything figured out before we act. But the Bible shows us time and again that God works in the present, often in ways we can't fully understand. By waiting for the perfect conditions, we miss out on the blessings He has for us now. Angels often nudge us to take action when we hesitate, reminding us that the time to act is always now, not in some far-off future. Have you ever postponed something important thinking, "I'll do it tomorrow"? We all do it, but God is clear. Procrastination isn't the answer. Jesus taught that we shouldn't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself. When we focus on today, we step into the flow of God's purpose for our lives. Delaying obedience or waiting to feel ready only keeps us from experiencing the fullness of His plan. The urgency of now pushes us to step into the present and trust that God will equip us as we go. In every area of life, the urgency of now is a game changer. Whether it's a decision to pray more deeply, take a step in faith, or serve others, today is the day. God doesn't need your perfection, He needs your willingness. When you act in the present, you're showing God that you trust Him. The Bible reminds us that God's timing is perfect, but His timing often involves acting when it's least expected. The angels surrounding us encourage us to embrace the present moment, where God's work is happening. Living with the urgency of now doesn't mean rushing or forcing things. It's about recognizing that God is always at work in the present. So, ask yourself, what has God been prompting you to do today? Whether it's praying, serving, or making a change in your life, now is the time. The future will come, but it's built on the decisions you make right now. Trust that the present moment holds everything you need to fulfill God's purpose for your life. When you act with urgency, you align yourself with God's will in real time. The present moment is where life happens, where faith grows, and where God's plan unfolds. Don't wait for tomorrow. Embrace today with open arms and a heart ready to act. The angels are ready to guide you, and the time to follow God's call is now. Every word you speak, every thought you entertain, and every action you take ripples through time, creating a lasting impact. The Bible teaches that nothing we do in the name of God is ever wasted. Living with purpose means understanding that every moment matters, and it all counts in God's grand design. No act of kindness, no prayer, no moment of faith is insignificant. Every choice you make is a reflection of your beliefs and values, and each one has the potential to influence the world around you in ways you may never fully realize. Take a look at the small moments of your life, the way you treat others, the encouragement you offer, the kindness you extend. These seemingly simple actions can have an eternal effect. The Bible is full of stories that show how small actions can lead to incredible outcomes. Think about the impact one person can have, whether it's a simple prayer for someone in need or a moment of honesty that inspires change. Angels often nudge us to act, to speak, to make choices that will leave a lasting legacy, even when it seems insignificant at the time. Living with the awareness that every action matters is both empowering and humbling. It means realizing that your life isn't just about you. It's about the people around you and the influence you can have. Whether you are sharing the gospel, offering a helping hand, or simply being present for someone, your actions are speaking louder than you may realize. The Bible says that we are the salt of the earth, meant to make a difference wherever we go. Every small act of faith can change the world. Have you ever noticed how a single word or action can completely alter the course of a day, or even a life? Whether it's the words of encouragement that lift someone's spirit, or the prayer that changes the direction of someone's path, your actions have weight. The angels often help guide us toward actions that will bring about good and positive change. Even if it feels like you're not doing much, never underestimate the impact of your actions on the people around you. It's easy to get caught up in the belief that only big acts of faith matter, that only grand gestures count in God's eyes. But the truth is, it's the small, everyday actions that often make the biggest difference. Think about how many lives have been touched by simple gestures: a smile, a word of encouragement, a prayer. These things add up, creating a chain reaction of goodness. When you choose to act with love and faith in your everyday life, you are sowing seeds of eternal value. Living intentionally means understanding that each action has the power to influence the world around you. It's not just about big moments of glory or fame. It's about the consistent, faithful choices you make every day. The Bible teaches us that God sees the heart behind every action, no matter how small. Angels walk alongside us, helping us see that even our smallest acts can have eternal significance. So choose to live purposefully today, knowing that every step you take is a step toward making a difference. The impact of every action is a reminder that we are co-creators with God. Our choices, no matter how small, are part of His larger plan. When we act with love, faith, and integrity, we align ourselves with His purpose. And the beauty of this is that we don't always see the results immediately. Sometimes the effects of our actions unfold in ways we can't even imagine. But God's plan is always at work, and every action, no matter how small, contributes to it. Life is not just about work, faith, or leisure in isolation. It's about balance. In the Christian life, balance is key to fulfilling God's purpose. The Bible teaches us to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind. But it also speaks to the importance of caring for our bodies, relationships, and responsibilities. When we fail to strike a balance, we can become overwhelmed, stressed, or disconnected from our true calling. Life becomes a tug-of-war between competing demands, but God calls us to live harmoniously, integrating our faith with our daily lives. Think about your own life. How do you balance your work, family, and faith? If you're constantly chasing after success at the expense of your relationships or neglecting your spiritual well-being, you may feel like you're missing something. The Bible speaks about the importance of Sabbath, a time to rest and recharge, acknowledging that even Jesus took time to retreat and pray. Balance isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about being intentional and thoughtful in how you allocate your time and energy, ensuring that all areas of life are nurtured. Angels often remind us that it's okay to pause. The Christian life is not a race to see who can do the most or achieve the most. It's about walking in step with God, allowing Him to guide our actions. This means taking time for quiet reflection, prayer, and connection with Him. It also means prioritizing rest so you don't burn out. By finding a healthy balance, you're better able to serve others, deepen your relationship with God, and enjoy the blessings He's given you. Work is important. It's a way to provide for our families, contribute to society, and develop our skills. But it's also essential to recognize when work becomes an idol. If work is consuming your life and draining your energy, it's time to reassess. The Bible teaches us that our work should glorify God, but it shouldn't overshadow the more important aspects of life, like family, faith, and self-care. Angels often guide us toward making time for rest, which can renew our spirits and bring us back into alignment with God's will. Leisure and recreation are also an essential part of a balanced life. While it may seem indulgent to take time off to enjoy activities that bring you joy, this time is vital for your well-being. It's in these moments of relaxation that you can hear God's voice more clearly. The Bible encourages us to find joy in the simple pleasures of life. Whether it's a walk in nature, spending time with loved ones, or just enjoying a good book. When you take time to rest and recharge, you are better equipped to serve God and others. Ultimately, the balance of Christian life is about living intentionally. It's about recognizing that your relationship with God impacts every area of your life. When you honor Him in your work, family, and rest, you create a life that reflects His love and purpose. Angels are often there to remind us that we don't have to carry the weight of the world on our own. We are meant to live in harmony, trusting that God will guide us through each season of life. Remember, balance isn't about perfection. It's about consistency and trust in God's timing. The Christian life is a journey, And each day is an opportunity to align yourself with His will. As you seek balance, know that God's grace is sufficient for all things. Trust that He will guide you in creating a life that honors Him and reflects His love for others. What would your life look like if you truly embraced the power of the present moment? What if today was the day you stopped waiting and started living fully for God? Every decision, every action, every word has eternal significance, and it's in the choices you make today that you shape your tomorrow. Don't let distractions or procrastination keep you from fulfilling the purpose God has placed in your heart. The time to act is now. Don't wait any longer. As you reflect on what you've learned, ask yourself, what's one step you can take today to align your life more closely with God's will? Whether it's a prayer, a simple act of kindness, or choosing to put God first, that small action can make all the difference. God is waiting for you to step into His plan for your life, and the angels are cheering you on. If you're ready to live a life with more purpose, more joy, and more peace, it's time to make that decision today. And if you want to keep growing in your faith and understanding, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can continue to learn, grow, and take action every day. Your best life is waiting for you. Are you ready to start living it?